Hey, I'm gonna show you how to play against Jade. Now, my philosophy is that everything's about cost reward and you interrupt staggers to win, essentially. But you only interrupt the ones where if you get hit, if you guess wrong, the damage is not high. And if you get them, if they stagger, the damage is higher. Plus, it's all about guessing, essentially. You're gonna have to adjust, make the reads. What I'm gonna show you, it's not just, it doesn't work all the time for everyone. But I'll show you how people usually play with these characters, based on my experience. Okay, so let's start with standing 1. So standing 1 is +2, right? You have to be careful with this. That's what Jades usually do. They do this, and then they go into back 3. So since this is +2, back 3 is 11 frames on startup. This becomes like a 9 frame mid, essentially. So it's probably better to take the pressure here after they do standing 1, just because it's so incredibly fast. Or you could simply, as soon as they slap you with standing 1, you just react to the standing 1, then you press. But you're gonna have to press standing 1 yourself, again, because this becomes 9 frames, so you want to use your 7 frame standing 1 to interrupt this. And this might come, right? But that's the risk that you're gonna take. So you're gonna take this risk here. So you're gonna take the risk of 96 damage. Like, if it's another Jade, the damage that she's gonna give is not really high. You can imagine if it's someone that hits hard, so just imagine being someone who has an average amount of damage, like 300 damage. So either you take the risk, if you guess wrong, it's 97 damage that you eat. If they guess wrong, it's 300 damage, so it's not bad. Either you can interrupt this, or you can just try to stay strong. Again, the mind game that they're going to do is standing 1 to back 3, or standing 1 into grab, right? And that grab's going to come quickly. Okay, so that's one thing. So the 2-1, so we see that often. And what you tend to see is this, 2-1, and to back 3, or you see 2-1, 2. So what I recommend, as soon as you see 2-1, you press. This might come, something else might come, right? But the damage is not going to be very high, and you're going to interrupt with a full combo. If you block the full string, don't come in, because that's a trap. What they're going to do, they're going to do this, they're going to step back a little bit and do this. So like if you're stuck here, you can just reversal backdash all of this if you're the other Jade. Or you can simply like even duck. Because most of the time, again, this video is about what people do most of the time. Not every time. There are mind games. Like if you see someone ducking, you can adjust if you're the Jade, right? And then go into an overhead. So for 3, this stagger, usually what people do is just one of them. They do one and then they go into something else like this. So as soon as you see this, 4-3, this might be the follow-up. Doesn't really matter. How much damage is this? 97 damage again, it's not that high, right? So as soon as you see 4-3, I would like you to press. Just like that. Even if you don't know what's coming. Again, start to not react to staggers, to just press. If they mix it well to the point where you can't guess, essentially. Okay, how about this? So this sweep with the special ability, you see how long it is? So just don't come after this. Again, it's a trap for back 2. Or just from here even. Neutral is reset, relax a little bit. Okay, so this one, sometimes you're gonna see this. This looks weird, right? You can duck this, of course, people know this, but the tech for Jade is to do this and to trap you into something else while you try to take your turn. Something like that would happen. And then sometimes people do it with this one, with back 1, or they do it with forward 1. She's just not in a long enough recovery, and it's because projectile is slow. You have to duck it and wait. By the time you wait, you can come back. She's not really in recovery, so don't fall for that. Oh yeah, and if, like, beginners are going to do this, but if Jades do this on block, like, obviously, if you block all of this, she's super +7, right? You're going to have to take all this, but as soon as you see the first one, just let it go, and you're going to go under. Or, you know, both, but you don't know what's coming, so you react, and you can punish. Okay, so this mix here is so goddamn difficult to block, but essentially what you want to do is you want to block overhead, obviously, and then you just want to block low, and if you react that the other overhead is coming, this one, which is hard, this is 25 frames, it might open you up online, but then you would stand. Like, this is almost like free damage for a Jade. So if we put it on random hidden, okay, yeah. So you can't really fuzzy it well, it's more of a reaction than a fuzzy. You can kind of fuzzy it, but it's very difficult, right? Okay, so that's how you can block that. Okay, so let's look at this variation, right, where they have the stick. You don't have to respect this. So let's see here. So this is only -2. Be careful. Usually what Jades are gonna do, so they do this. They might mix you or not, but if they don't mix you, they poke because it's only -2, right? So if you get to the end, you react to everything. There's an overhead here. You're gonna have to poke. You can't just take your turn normally. Okay. So let's see it here. So there's a couple gaps. There's like one gap here, right after this. So as soon as you see the stick, you press. And right here. So twice, right? One gap here, one gap here. And it's mid, low, overhead, overhead. And sometimes they're gonna mix you. That's the mix, essentially. It's kind of hard to react to. I don't know if it's actually reactable. I don't think it's reactable. I think you just have to guess. Yeah, I can't react to it. Okay, so the other thing as well. Down 4. So it's the down 4 mind game and the down 4 Delia's dance. The thing with her down 4, there's so much pushback. Look at the pushback. After she pushes you on block, it's kind of risky to try to take back your turn because Jades, they back up after this, right? Or they just even walk. They do this, they push you. When you try to come in, they hit you with their stick. So what I would recommend is after they push you away with down 4 on block, just step back, just like relax. Okay, and what else they're going to do? They're going to do this, right? This is -13, you can see it. It's a punishable. But there's the amp, and after the amp, you really have to be careful because it's another trap, right? The amp, you think, oh, I'm going to come in, and they back up just a bit, and they hit you with their stick. So you can actually fuzzy mash this. So fuzzy mash means that you're going to press a button right after they hit you, assuming that the full string is going to come out. And if they stagger it, they get hit. You stay in block stun if they don't stagger it, if they complete the string. Okay, so we have this, and then we have this. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So there are two options. Either she just does it normally, or she completes it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press as soon as the last hit touch, or like right after the last hit. So where is it? So now I'm still doing it, right? So I'm following the pattern. You see, I pressed and nothing happened. So it's the same thing with like all of these moves. Press, and I was a bit too fast. Press, again, you need to do it right after a little bit. Another Jade would not punish this, like Cetron can punish this. But Jade, I guess, like you have to wait a little bit too long to follow the pattern. And by the time that you hit, if they don't amp, it's not a punish like this. So they might be able to block it. From my experience, sometimes these Jades don't block it, but... Okay, I'm gonna stop it here, so that's like a surface level way to beat this character from the type of stuff you're gonna see from Jade players. Peace.